Hey everybody, today's the day that I just dreaded that would ever come. And I'm only doing this video because a lot of you have been asking about Brody and checking on him in emails and messages. Another reason is we're starting our Marching In with Casseroles collaboration, and I did my first video a couple days ago, and Brody was under my feet like he always was. I don't know if you guys ever noticed when I was doing my videos, I kind of had to stop and think and look and see where I was stepping because he was always under the table. He always wanted to be right beside us. And it was no different doing this video. In fact, I commented that he was doing so much better. And he was. He has been. Even up till yesterday afternoon when I came home from work, and first thing I do is get greeted at the door by Brody because he hears the alarms on the driveway and he's always standing there waiting. I went in and fed him, and he went straight to the door, and we went out and walked. I always say it's to do his business, but it's his first walk around of the day, checking his animals. And he did. He walked all the way back to the pigeons and the quail and the rabbits. He stopped on the way and checked out his chicken ladies, make sure they were all behaving. It's funny, they always line up and look at him as he goes by, and he just stops, looks them over, and keeps on going. And later in the evening, he ate his dinner. We did the same thing. He always 2 or 3 times a day, he has to walk around the entire perimeter of where all the animals are and just, glance up at the cages and see how the quail are doing, and look at the rabbits, and always at the chickens. Then, of course, watch TV, and he always has this little habit at 6 o'clock. It's time for his treats. And he could tell time, because every night at 6 o'clock he'd be pacing in front of me, looking at me and pacing and bumping me on the knee. So I got up and gave him his treat and a couple of the soft chews for his arthritis. And then later, as we watched TV before bedtime, anytime we had a snack, he'd wait for us to close the bag of chips or popcorn or whatever it was and stand up, and he was straight into the kitchen waiting because he knew he got his snack. And last night I was eating some pretzels and I gave him a pretzel. He usually doesn't get people food, but ever since he's been having problems, we've been giving him, a pretzel or something every now and then, carrot. Then I went to bed probably around 10 o'clock. Around midnight, just before midnight, I heard a noise, and usually it's him because he sleeps on a little bed right beside our bed. It's usually him saying, "I gotta go potty, Daddy." And I looked over to tell him, "Hold on, I'm getting up," and he was having a seizure. It's the first one we've witnessed him have. And I jumped down beside him and held him and kept his head up. And it lasted 5 or 6 minutes. And as it was ending, I was already calling the vet. It's only 5 minutes from here, but they were closed. When I got there, I got somebody, though, in the office, and I told him what happened. And she asked if he was still having a seizure. I said no. She was always going to be very tired. Just let him rest. keep an eye on him, and bring him in first thing in the morning to see the veterinarian. So I sat there and I held him, and he was so limp and so tired. But he still had a little wag in his tail. And I saw his brush sitting there, so I started brushing him because he loves being brushed. And when I got done brushing him and laid the brush down, he just wiggled a little bit. I helped him. I thought he just wanted to try to stand for a second. He stood up and started walking around the cabin and straight to the door. Had to go to the bathroom. So I took him out. I always took him out on a leash at night, anytime it was after sunset, because of any other animals in the woods. Never had a problem so far, but I was always protecting him. And he walked, and he walked, and he walked. All around the chicken coop a couple times, back to the pigeon aviary, back to the rabbits. He just kept walking and walking and walking. Then he went to the restroom and headed straight back to the cabin. But then he kept pacing. I'm talking almost half hour, 45 minutes, just pacing in circles around the table, and just, he wouldn't calm down, and it kept taking him in and out. I thought he had to go to the bathroom more. He wouldn't relax, but finally about an hour later, I was just sitting on the edge of the bed with my foot on his bed, watching him. He came over and just laid down, put his head on my foot. He went to sleep. I watched him breathe for a while and just make sure he was okay. I was like, okay, he's going to be fine. And then around 3, I heard that same noise again, and I jumped up, and he was having another seizure. We held him as tight as we could, trying to hold him and not let him get hurt. And I grabbed my phone and called the emergency veterinary clinic in Knoxville, which is about 45 minutes from here, and told them we had to bring him in. She said, yeah, get him here now, because he had already been having a seizure for like 20 minutes. And this was a massive seizure. It went on for 45 minutes. We wrapped him in his favorite blanket, jumped in the truck, and headed towards Knoxville. We didn't even get all the way through our little town up here. His little body just couldn't take it. And I noticed he quit shaking, and I said, he's still having a seizure? No, his seizure had stopped. So is his heart. So we turned around, came back to home, took him in and laid him on his bed, still wrapped in his little blanket. And we laid there, holding him and petting him. He looked so peaceful. Just looked like he was sleeping. We did that till 8 o'clock. Then I called our vet and asked if, well, first I told him what happened. And I asked if they did cremations, and they said yes. I wanted to guarantee we got his ashes back, because we want him here with us on Cumberlachia. So we picked him up and took him on his last car ride to the vet. I came home and just wanted to walk, just like me and Brody always did. And I went walking back towards the chickens and I stopped. Kind of lost it. I looked down and we've had a lot of rain lately. It's been muddy. Starting to dry up. Right beside my feet, Brody's little paw prints in the dirt. Right beside me. You know, he was more than a dog. He was our best friend. He took care of us. Loved us. And like that saying goes, he's only a part of our life, but we were his entire life. So I'm hoping on Monday, which is my birthday, that I asked them if we'd be able to pick Brody up then. They're going to try their best because they do everything right there at their office. He was a city dog from Fort Lauderdale in Tampa. And he came up here, became a country dog. He didn't like going outside. In Florida, he just wanted to go outside, go potty, and come back in. But up here, he just wanted to be outside. He took to all of our animals, never growled at them. Just kind of looked at them like, okay, those are my animals. And when we had our rabbits in the cabin for a short period of time, when one of them was really sick, he literally laid beside the cages, and slept like he was protecting them. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. I just want to keep you updated because so many of you ask about Brody. And I wanted you to know in the video that comes out tomorrow on Saturday, when I'm talking about Brody, he was there. He was walking around under my feet. Thank you guys, all of you, for all the well wishes when he was sick earlier in June and July. It means a lot. Y'all take care and God bless.